Welcome back, Dio Builders, to another prop tutorial. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you guys would have saw one of my posts not too long ago that I had 3 paintings painted up by this artist right here. You can see him. I'll have a link to all his website and his Instagram down in the description, so you guys could check him out and see if you guys would want to commission anything. He does do big scale paintings, some really amazing things on his Instagram if you guys want to check it out. So I just want to give you guys a quick look at the prop and mention that he did paint 3 of these. I already have one here inside the prop, and then I have another 2. I'm gonna make 2 more frames for the other ones, but for right now I have this frame and I want to demonstrate the painting is removable, so I can put any painting in here that I want. So if I want to switch out with one of the other ones, or if I commission another painting from him or from anybody else, I could go ahead and put it in that frame, and it fits really well with Marvel Legends. And like I mentioned too, this is going to go into the museum diorama, so let's get right into the tutorial. Alright, so the first step is we're going to have to take 4 skinny sticks and 4 popsicle sticks. This is going to make the interior frame and the exterior frame for our pictures, or for the paintings for the diorama. So I'm going to go ahead and separate those, and we'll come back and do the measurements for the popsicle sticks and the skinny sticks. So as you can see, I took 2 skinny sticks and 2 popsicle sticks. We're going to go ahead and measure 2.5-inch sections on each of these. I went ahead and already measured those on the other side, so you guys can see I did mark them 2.5 inches. So as you can see, I'm going to show you up close just so you guys can see I did measure them out. I'm going to go ahead and cut these out. Before I go ahead and cut these out off camera, I want to mention I'm going to use a 45-degree angle on these popsicle sticks, because that's going to be the exterior frame and I want them to line up perfectly instead of squared. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these out and we'll be right back. So as you can see, I cut out those sections. All 4 of these pieces are 2.5 inches long. And as you can see how I cut them, I cut on the popsicle sticks only, I cut a 45-degree angle on both sides. You got to make sure they're both going in the same direction or your picture frame won't line up right. Same thing with these. I just cut them straight across on the sides. Go ahead and sand it down the sides a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the other 2 skinny sticks and popsicle sticks. So I'm going to go ahead and come back to that. So as you can see, I have the other 2 skinny sticks and the other 2 popsicle sticks. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys. I measured out 2 3/4 of an inch on each of these. And I'm going to go ahead and cut these out the same way I cut out the other ones. With the skinny sticks, I'm going to cut a straight line where the line is. And with the popsicle sticks, I'm going to go ahead and cut those 45-degree angles, and we'll come back with all the pieces. As you can see, I already cut those out. I forgot to mention this. I don't know if you guys noticed, on the other ones it had a little S on there, and this one's L. These are the long sides of the picture frames, and the other ones that I cut out before this are going to be the short sides. With the long side, I went ahead and measured out the extra length of a skinny stick going on to the edge, so we have somewhere to glue, because if we cut the measurements the same size as our paintings, then it won't line up and you won't have anywhere to glue that. So that's a quick thing I need to mention. You need to add the extra length on each side for the skinny sticks so you have somewhere to glue them. So we're going to go ahead and start assembling this around our painting so we could start making the frame out for it, and then we could move on to the painting the actual picture frame to make it look more antique. So we're going to go ahead and assemble this. So I'm going to go ahead and go on to that next step. Alright, so here we are. We're going to start assembling the picture frame. So as you can see, we have the painting I'm going to use for the prop, and the short pieces and long pieces of the skinny sticks. And I went ahead and wrapped the painting in plastic wrap so I don't get any glue on there. I'm just going to use this to help me make everything straight and leveled. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the 2 long pieces, and I'm going to go ahead and put them on the side like this, making sure I have enough space. And then I am going to put the 2 small pieces on the sides like this. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that with some wood glue off camera so I can get this nice and straight and leveled, and we'll come back to the next step. Alright, so as you can see, the glue has already dried. I just used some of my paint to keep pressure on the corners so it keeps it nice and straight as it's drying. I'm going to go ahead and move those out of the way. And so the next step is we can move this aside. As you can see, the picture could pop in and out, or the painting. There's just a little bit loose keeping it in right now. But I'm going to go ahead and put that to the side, make sure it's completely dry. And while that's drying completely, I could go ahead and move on to the next step, which is making the outside of the frame. That's the inside of the frame. That's going to keep the painting inside. And like I said in the beginning of the video, you're going to be able to remove the paintings and swap them out, so you're not stuck with one permanent painting. So if I want to swap that out with a different painting or make my own, then I could go ahead and do that. So we're just going to make the outside of the frame now. And so what we're going to do is going to take our 2 long pieces and our 2 short pieces that we cut, and we're going to go ahead and arrange those like this: long piece on top, long piece on bottom, and then the 2 short pieces on the side. So as you can see, it makes a nice looking picture frame. So I'm going to go ahead and apply wood glue to each of these joints. Do the same technique with my paints and put them on the corners to make sure they're nice and tight and straight. And I'm going to go ahead and let that dry, and we'll come back to the next step. Alright, so as you can see, it's all nice and dry. It fits very well. I'm going to go ahead and glue this part that's already dry on top of here. And all you have to do is apply some wood glue around the frame and then go ahead and straighten it out and pop that on there. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that on there, but as well as I'm going to glue that off camera, I'm also going to wrap just the front part of this frame in some lace. I have some black lace that I bought from Walmart. You could use really any kind of lace as long as it has some type of pattern. And this is going to help us give us that antique look when we start painting it. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this with some white Elmer's glue, or you could even use Mod Podge. As long as it dries clear, you should be good. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap, like I said, this part of the frame and go ahead and glue these 2 pieces together off camera, and then we'll be back with the next step. Alright, so now that I have the lace glued on there and the 2 frames glued together, we could go ahead and start painting this up so we can make it look like an antique frame for our painting. So the one thing I could recommend, as you can see, my glue is a little bit cloudy right here. I was trying to use PVA glue to glue this lace down, but I found it more difficult and took longer to dry, so I started using gel glue. I suggest just use the gel glue right off the bat. You'll get this down in a couple minutes, and then you can start painting. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to start applying a dark bronze color on the actual frame. I'll just show you a little bit of the color on there, and you want to get into all the grooves, and you want to kind of go light because you don't want to fill in the grooves. That's what's going to give us our texture and give us that antique look on our frame. So I'm going to go ahead and base coat that whole thing, that one color, and make sure the black is completely covered with this paint, and then we'll move on to the next step. Alright, so now that our dark bronze color is nice and dry, we're going to move on to a wash. It's going to be a simple black wash with the black acrylic paint and some water. And all we're going to do is go ahead and try to get it in all the crevices. And this is going to really make it look antique. And just as a reminder, I do have my little painting saran wrap so I don't get any paint on there. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this all over to all the sides as well. Let that dry and we'll come back and take a look at this. Alright, so here's our prop all nice and finished already. As you can see, the black wash gave it a nice patina, gives it a nice aged look, so we could put it up in the museum diorama that I'm building. And as you can see, I have a Marvel Legends standing in place right here so you guys can see how big this painting actually is and how well it fits in. I just want to give you guys a closer look and show you guys it is still removable, so I could switch out the paintings if I want to throw another one in there. I could just go ahead and pop it out. And there it is. So I could go ahead and put any painting in here that I want. I just really wanted to have it versatile so I could reuse this prop if I need to. But like I said, I want to thank the artist again for painting 3 of these up for me so I could put it in my museum diorama, and I wanted to build a prop for it so it gives it a little bit more presence in there, so it's not just hanging, it actually gives it a frame, and it's well deserved. It's really nice abstract painting. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you guys did, don't forget to leave a like, a comment, and hit that sexy subscribe button. And we're gonna go ahead and measure 2.5 inches for